I've waited 10 years for someone to believe me. Posted by UU Northcliffe, I find myself in the police station. I just sit there. My hands tremble as I grip the edge of the table. I can't let go. I can't shake the voice in my brain screaming at me to stay calm. I need to stay calm. But I can't. The whole night feels like a nightmare I'm stuck in. I can't get out. I'm wildly trying to make sense of things I can't possibly make sense of. The buzz of fluorescent lights above me is deafening, but at the same time sounds so far away. Evan sits across from me, staring at me, like she's waiting for me to speak. Did she just say something? I can't tell, but I know she wants me to talk. I can't. When I try to speak, I find the words catch in my throat. I've told them what happened already. They didn't believe me. Would I believe me? Do I? Have I gone crazy? No, I know I haven't. I find myself pacing. Telling them what happened again isn't going to help. My thoughts race tumbling, jumbled. I can't keep up with them. Why am I here? I shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be wasting time. I need to be out there looking for Myra. The thought of her alone out there where I can't handle thinking about it, so I focus intently on the color of the interview room wall. Gray. I stop pacing, try to ground myself. I can't lose control. I need to stay calm. They can't think I'm crazy. I focus. I realize I'm cold. My clothes are wet. I hear Evans asking me, "How were you feeling earlier tonight, Blythe? Before the swim?" I look to her. Evans, focusing now on the color of her eyes. Blue. I'm trying to stay present, but with her question, I'm forced into the past. Earlier this evening, it feels like a shadow of reality so far detached from the world I'm now in. How was I feeling earlier tonight? Fine, I say. That one word was all I could push out. But she wants more, thinks that more may bring Myra back. I feel fury rise. Earlier this evening has nothing to do with it. I want to scream. Myra being gone has nothing to do with me, but I know screaming at her isn't going to get her back. I bite my tongue, taste blood, sweet metallic. I pull all my feelings inward, gripping them like a steel ball in my chest. I close my eyes. I remember earlier. Our house, the kitchen, the sound of water splashing against the sink as I wash dishes. Dominic comes in from reading a bedtime story to Myra. Smiling. A smile that makes me feel bitter despite knowing that makes no sense. He loves reading to Myra, loves being a dad. Getting to read her bedtime stories is one of his favorite parts, so he's smiling. He doesn't understand his unburdened smile makes me feel like I should smile as easily as him. I know that's not fair to him, but that's what I feel. He smiles, and I try not to frown. I don't know why I'm writing all this. Maybe I'm wondering if Evans was right. Maybe there is something I should have paid attention to, something I missed. Maybe something in my memory is important. I ask Dom if Myra's asleep. Out cold, he says, celebrating with an even brighter smile. He's always had an infectious smile. It's what first attracted me to him years ago. I try to remember that. Let that infectious smile spread to me rather than sting me with guilt. I let myself smile. For a moment, it feels good. The way it's supposed to. I used to smile more, smile effortlessly. What strikes me now is that Myra never knew that me. The old me, the mother she knows, is stressed, anxious, easy to temper. No wonder she likes spending time with Dom more. I should have pressed harder to keep my job. Dom would have been better at home. If it was me taking the ferry to work in town every day, would Myra miss me as much as she misses him? Would she run into my arms the way she runs into his when he gets back? Would have I taken her swimming if I wasn't so desperate to bond? But Dom's job pays better than mine ever would. It made sense for me to give up my job. I wish we never moved here, to this island. But raising her here near Dom's sister and her kid, a cousin Myra's age, around people he grew up with, it sounded perfect. I wanted to move here. No one forced me. I didn't realize how hard it would be. Why am I thinking about all this? Because I desperately want things to have been different. So we didn't end up here, with Myra gone. But I can't change the past no matter how hard I think about it. She's gone. I need to get her back. I have to focus. This evening, what happened this evening? Dom read her a story. I ask him what he read. That book of old fairy tales Rhiannon brought over, he tells me. My mom used to read it to us when we were little, but I forgot how messed up some fairy tales are. I don't think they're meant for kids. That makes me nervous. Old fairy tales aren't lovely and whimsical. They're scary, the German ones, the Irish ones. I hope the book's not going to give her nightmares, I say. Dom shrugs off my worries. She'll be fine, he says, then tells me, I think she wants you to read to her sometime. She asked why it's always me. Made quite a stink about it, actually. Why does it always have to be you, Daddy? Why ye? I doubt this is true. Probably another one of his attempts to get me to bond with her more. But he doesn't say that. He goes on laughing about how he responded. He said something like, Well, pardon me, Your Highness, is my theatrical ability not up to your royal standards? Did you tell her you're much better at it than me? I know my voice was sharp, I couldn't help it, but I don't think he noticed because he just went on. I don't know, maybe you're hiding some secret thespian talent I don't know about. I tell him I'm not. He presses. How can you know if you don't try? I know. I tell him that. He pokes me playfully. But do yow, I snap. Don't push me, Dominic, okay? I'm too quick putting a dish into the dish rack. It cracks against another one. Stupid, I should have been more careful. I lost control. I feel a familiar wave of shame crash onto me. Dominic doesn't get angry, though. He hardly ever does when I lose my temper. He's annoyingly understanding. Okay, no prob, he says. I can do story time. I think she just wants to spend time with you, that's all. I notice the plate now has a chip in it. I must have sworn loudly because I see Dom's eyes flick to Myra's room, worried I may have woken her up. But he doesn't say that. He doesn't chastise me for swearing, for raising my voice. He tries to settle me. Don't worry, hun, it's fine. It's just a small chip, still totally usable. This makes me feel even worse. He's treating me like some fragile china doll he doesn't want to break. Not like his wife, not like me. I try to keep my tears from falling because I know if I start crying, I won't be able to stop. I don't want to cry tonight. I want tonight to be an okay night. I can tell that's what Dom wants too. He kisses me. Everything's fine, okay? I love Dominic with all my heart, but he doesn't understand that just saying everything's fine doesn't make everything fine. I feel my eyes glazing with tears, but I'm not going to cry. I pull away. I tell him I'm going to go check I didn't wake up Myra. He assures me I haven't woken her, but I go anyway. I need an excuse to move. I peek through Myra's door. Her nightlight casts a dim glow across her bedroom. Snuggled in the middle of her bed, surrounded by a mound of stuffed animals, plus numerous cutouts of fairies taped to her wall, she looks like a fairytale princess. Sleeping Beauty. Opposite of the rambunctious rascal I get during the day. I'm just about to leave when something catches my eye. The curtain on Myra's window ripples. I cross her room, walking as quietly as I can. I push aside the curtain to see the window is open. I peer outside. Myra's window faces the forest. There are no lights of houses or anything. It's pitch black. I can't remember if I listened closely enough. I try to remember, but I can't. I don't remember hearing anything strange. A quiet rustle of leaves, maybe? I can't remember. I do remember I slide the window closed, lock it with a latch. I go back to Dom. He's taken over washing the dishes. She was still asleep, right? He says. I don't answer. I told you to keep Myra's window closed at night, I tell him instead. It's a warm night and the night air is good for her, he says. I feel a spike of anger. Angry he wasn't worrying like I was. I have to hold the burden of worry while he seems free of it. It doesn't feel fair. Anyone can just climb in. I tell him, that's not going to fly. When are you going to shake that city brain of yours? No one's going to know everyone on the island. You do, I tell him. I see him hesitate after I say this. Then, hun, I was thinking, now you're feeling better. Maybe you can try and get out a bit more? I get out, I tell him. I mean, meet people. Music nights at the pub are fun. Or my sister's got that book club thing I'm sure you'd be welcome at. You can get to know more people that way. He's always pushing me to do more things, as if I don't have enough to do at home. Then the house lights flicker dark, then go bright again. Strange. We get power outages all the time in the winter when it's stormy, but it's summer, not even windy out. A branch probably touching a line, Dom says. I ask if he wants me to finish the dishes. Dom says it's fine, they're almost done, so I tell him I'm going for a walk. Just need a bit of quiet out of the house. Dom says, yeah, sure. Where are you going? I don't know, just out. I don't tell him that, though. I tell him just down the road, won't be long. I step out, feel the night close in around me, the darkness. No streetlights out here, not like in the city. Just shadows stretching from the trees that loom over the few houses spattered along the road. I pass Dom's sister's house, see her and Bate watching TV. Their daughter, Libby, will be asleep like Myra. I keep walking. The homes glow faintly, windows warmly lit. Someone's dog barks a ways off. I walk past the houses. Let their warm light fade behind me as I turn onto the narrow path leading into the trees. I can't see much ahead of me now. I hear the gravel path crunch under my shoes. With each step, the dark swallows me. I walk in darkness, in silence. Then I step out from the trees onto the rocky beach. The sound of waves lap gently at the shore. I can see more here, the beach illuminated by the stars and moon. It's beautiful. I take a deep breath in. Let it out. The air is cool and salty, but no amount of deep breathing settles the churning in my chest. I bend, grabbing onto a stone at my feet, I chuck it into the sea. I hear a tiny sploosh. Pathetic. Am I looking for some sort of epic, crashing, resounding noise that will somehow release the pent-up energy I'm holding? I don't know, but I know I crouch to find a bigger rock. I find one, heavy and jagged. It's heavy enough I need 2 hands. I pull my arms back, then hurl it to sea with everything I have. I watch the rock hit the water with a heavy splash, except something is strange. The water lights up where the rock lands. Brilliant light trails behind the rock as it sinks. I kick off my shoes. I gather up the bottom of my dress, and I step forward. The cold shocks me as my feet make the first plunge into the water. As I move, I watch as each step leaves a glowing trail behind me. The light in the water sparkles as it dissipates. I wade in deeper until my hand can reach the water. I wave it around me, watching it leave a glittering wake. Dom told me about bioluminescence, but I'd never seen it in person. I watch my hand glide through the water as if magic is pouring from my fingertips. I let my skirt drop into the water, watch it flow around me in the soft, ghostly light. Then I let myself fall backward into the sea, arms outstretched. I hear myself laughing. Floating on my back, I stare up, taking in the endless sky above, sparkling with stars as I feel the sea glitter around me. I feel weightless, part of everything and yet still totally me in the amazing expanse. I wave my arms, carving glowing arcs around me. Light forms around my limbs like wings. I picture myself from afar, a tiny, flickering speck of light in the vast darkness of the sea, like a fairy flying. Miri loves fairies. I have to show her this, I think. I'm excited to show her. I run back home. Dom doesn't want to come with us. He has to be up for the 5 ferry, so wants to sleep. But he's happy for me to take Myra. I wake her. It takes some convincing to get her up. She wants Dad to come. I tell her, there's a special surprise waiting for you at the beach. What kind of surprise? It wouldn't be a surprise if I told you now, would it? Come on, Myra. I find her bathing suit. She's still in bed, so I pull the covers off her. She curls into a grumpy ball. I'm feeling the positive energy I found at the beach draining away from me. Am I making a mistake? But I rally. I know she'll love it if I can just get her down there. Fine, I'll tell you the secret, okay? The ocean has fairy lights in it. She's excited now. She changes into her bathing suit, and I pop her towel over her. I never thought that I'd have to describe what this towel looked like to police. It's a long poncho-style beach towel with a creature-faced hood. I told them her cousin Libby had one, and Myra had been so jealous, so her Auntie Rye made one for her as well. I could never quite tell if it was supposed to be a dragon, a lizard, or some other sort of monster. It was green and blue. Libby had one in pink. I always thought they looked a little weird, but the kids loved it. I told the police all of this because they said everything was important. Me and my little monster head out to the beach. I take my phone this time to light our way. Myra's always been a little scared of the dark. As we're walking past the houses, I notice lights inside flicker. Then all the lights darken. The power's gone out. We continue down the dark road. I hope the power will be back when we get home. But there'll still be hot water in the tank for a warm-up shower for Myra. And we have our camp stove. Maybe I'll make her some hot chocolate. That's what I'm thinking when Myra says, "What's that?" "What's what?" I ask. She's looking up into the sky. "Those lights." "The stars," I say. "No," she tells me. "They were moving across the sky. They're gone now." I tell her she must have seen a shooting star. "Lucky you, make a wish." We turn down the small path to the beach. The next part is exactly what I told Dominic, what I told the police, what I'm still trying to make sense of. This is what happened. We were swimming. Myra absolutely loved it, but she got cold after a bit. I took her back onto the beach, wrapped her in her towel. She was sitting on the shore. She was right there. She was fine. I just wanted a bit longer in the water. I was in the water, showing her my fairy wings. Then I saw something in the sky. It sounds crazy, but I don't think I know. I know it was a ship, a spaceship. It came down from the sky, just dropped right down and hovered over the beach. It was crackling with lights all over. It took her. I couldn't get to her in time. I watched as she flew up. I mean, she didn't fly, she was lifted up to the ship by nothing. It looked like she was flying. It all happened so quickly. I tried to get to her to grab her, but then there was this humming, a huge blast of white light. I couldn't see a thing. Then it was gone, just gone. I couldn't believe she'd been taken like that. I searched everywhere along the beach in the woods, even though I knew she wasn't there. I called Dom. He calls the police, calls his sister, who calls neighbors. Everyone searches. But she was gone. She is gone. Whoever they were, they took Myra. The police think I'm crazy. The look on Evan's face when she asks me, "Just so I understand clearly, are you saying that aliens took your daughter?" It wasn't until that moment when I realized that I may not be believed. Of course, I understand how crazy it sounds, what I'm telling them. But it's the truth. I can't change the truth to make it make more sense to everyone. The police take me to the station to ask me questions. They get me to draw what I saw. I tell them I'm terrible at drawing, but they want to see it. I draw, I see what they see. It looks like some terrible joke. I know they don't believe me. Worse, I think I have something to do with Myra being gone. I can't believe she's gone. But at the same time, it feels like something I've been waiting for since she was born. Since I almost killed her giving birth. Since the doctors resuscitated her. I realize that I've been living in terror since that day, so acutely aware that she could be taken from me at any second. And now she's gone. Now that she's gone, I realize maybe I was keeping her at a distance because I was afraid to love her. Afraid to love her because I could lose her. I'm not going to lose her. I need to get her back. I failed her in every other way. I won't fail her again. Somehow, I have to get her back. I wrote that 10 years ago. I never stopped looking for her. Even after search and rescue, the Coast Guard, basically everyone on the island, had looked and found nothing. No one on the island believed me. They all hated me. Well, not Dominic. He told me he didn't think I'd ever intentionally hurt Myra, but he believed she was gone, that she was never coming back. He said he'd never stop loving me, but he couldn't stand staying on the island. I had to stay. I couldn't risk Myra coming back to her home and find strangers living in it. I've spent the last decade trying to get messages out pleading to bring Myra home. I've spent countless hours online talking to anyone who knows anything about abductions. No one on the island helped me. They wanted me gone. They continue to post on the island forum things they won't say to my face. I've been called a cold-blooded murderer. Others beg me to come forward and reveal the truth. A few advocate for innocent until proven guilty. Others beg pity upon someone who has clearly lost it. More than once I've found nasty words painted on the house. But as much as everyone on the island has wanted me gone, I stayed. I've replaced the missing posters every time they start to fade. I celebrate Myra's birthday every year, bake a cake and everything. I've watched our niece grow up like Myra should be. Watch each year pass on Libby's face, wondering how Myra's changed. But now I don't need to wonder. Myra's back. How am I even writing this? It doesn't seem real. But it is. It's happened. She's back. She's here. She's sleeping now, snuggled in her bed. In her room I've kept clean and ready for her return. It was ready for her, for this day. And today's her birthday too. A day that's been so hard for me for so many years has now turned into the best day ever. I can't take my eyes off her. I'm sitting by her as I write this. Myra, she's right there, in front of me. I'm watching her chest rise and fall as she sleeps. It's really her freckles, her gap tooth, her birthmark on her neck all there. I had to check because I couldn't believe it at first. But it's her. But I can't tell anyone. I don't think I can even tell Dominic. Not yet anyway. No one can know because they'll take her away from me. I can't let her go now that I finally have her again. I have to keep her safe. If they know she's here, they'll take her. They'll do tests on her. I can't let that happen. She has to stay with me. It's her birthday today, her 16th birthday. But she's still a little girl. She hasn't aged at all. She looks the same as the day she was taken. I don't know how, she doesn't either. I don't think she remembers anything. But she seems okay. She seems fine. She was in the woods, she didn't look scared, she was just standing there. When I found her, it's stormy tonight, a wild wind that's still blowing. The power went off. I expected it to, but it still shakes me every time it happens. It always reminds me of the night Myra was taken. I had just opened a bottle of wine, was sipping it as I lit some candles around the house. It was late, pitch dark. I was planning on getting at least halfway through the bottle before cutting into Myra's birthday cake. The cake I thought I'd be eating alone. A decade-long birthday ritual. I'd bought the ingredients for it yesterday. Libby was working cashier. I could tell she knew it was for Myra's birthday, but she didn't say anything. She's not allowed to talk to me. They're supposed to be the same age, Myra and Libby. 16. Libby's birthday is 2 days before Myra's. They had joint parties when they were young. As I'm lighting a lamp out of the corner of my eye, I see something out the window. My heart stops. It's a child, wearing a green hooded monster towel just like the one Myra had. I think my eyes are playing tricks on me. Am I drunk? It's not Myra. Myra's not a little kid anymore. But it is a child, wearing a towel just like Myra's. Fury waves over me as I wonder if someone's playing with me. I run outside. Hey, I yell, what are you doing out here? But the kid doesn't move. She's just standing there. I look around. There are no adults around. Who would let their kid out alone in weather like this? I approach the child. You should be inside. Then she turns to me. I see her face. It's Myra. I feel my breath leave me, my limbs abandon me. I fall to my knees. Myra walks towards me, a ghost, but she wraps her arms around me. She's real, not a ghost. I can feel her arms around me. I hug her as tightly as I can. Tears fall down my face. I look at her again. You're back, how? She looks confused, doesn't say anything. The wind is howling around us. I scoop her up and take her inside. I ask her where she's been. She shrugs. I watch her walk about the house, looking into rooms. I think she's looking for Daddy S in town, I tell her. I still don't know if she realizes how long has passed. I don't want to scare her. I'll let her settle first. Then maybe she'll tell me something. She's still in her bathing suit and towel. What she was wearing when she was taken. I get her PJs to change into. I feel like I've traveled back in time, that this is just any other night a decade ago. But Myra's not her usual chatty self. She hasn't even said one word. She must be in some sort of shock. Has she been traumatized? What happened to her? I'm terrified to know the answer to this. I close all the curtains in the house. I don't want neighbors seeing her. I am elated she's back, but I know it's not right. Something's not right. She should be older. If people see her, there's no way they'll leave her alone. She's so little. She's been through enough. She doesn't need to be poked and prodded by doctors. The media, it would be insane. No, no one can know she's back. Not yet, at least. I need time to figure things out. I show her her cake. I tell her it's her birthday today and she looks confused again. I don't tell her it's supposed to be her 16th. She seems happy to eat the cake though. She eats 2 huge pieces and goes for another. I let her. Thank you, she says. Those were the first words she says. When she says it, she separates the words. Thank you. It sounded a little odd, like she was remembering how to talk again. What happened to you? I ask her gently. Myra looks confused again. She doesn't say anything. I know I need to tell Dom she's back, but I have to figure out how. Right now, I'm just going to focus on keeping her safe. I ask if she wants a story before bed. She nods. We go to her room. I ask which story she wants. I point to her bookshelf saying she can choose anyone she likes. She picks a book of fairy tales. I sit beside Myra. She snuggles in. I feel her head resting on me. My heart feels like it's going to burst. This is what I've been waiting for all these years. I want to cry, but I don't. I let myself smile instead. I start reading. Long ago, in a small village nestled amongst the green hills of Ireland, there lived a young mother named Bridget. She had a beautiful baby boy named Cillian. His hair was as dark as a raven's wing and his eyes blue as the summer sky. Bridget loved her son dearly and kept him very close, for she knew the old stories. Tales of the fair folk who took beautiful human children and left one of their own in their mirror slams the book shut. Sleep, she says. I tell her, yes, you need rest, sleep well. I step out of her room. The way she slammed the book shut, it's left me feeling rattled. I'm watching her sleep now, her chest rising and falling. 3 days Myra has been back and still she hasn't told me who took her. What happened in the time she's been gone? She seems happy. She likes snuggling with me, hugging me. She plays with my hair, twisting and braiding it. She hasn't seemed to notice it's now streaked with gray. She's been eating a lot. Far more than she used to. I'm running low on groceries. I'll have to leave the house soon. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. I don't want to leave Myra alone. But she can't come with me. She keeps wanting to look out the window. I've tried to explain that the curtains are closed because it's dangerous outside. We have to stay inside for now. I have to watch her closely because she keeps trying to peek out. She doesn't seem interested in the toys she used to like. She's been gone so long. I know I shouldn't expect her to be exactly the same as before. I should be thrilled that she seems happy and healthy. But something about her unsettles me. I read the rest of that story, the one Myra stopped me reading. The fairy tale. It's about changelings. I've been researching them. People used to think fairies, or the fair folk, or Aushi, a supernatural race like elves, would trade human children for one of their own. These changeling children would have odd behavior and voracious appetites. In Ireland, the Aushi were said to live in burial mounds, which were seen as portals to an otherworld. Stories like this aren't just in Irish folklore. They're all over. There's a Swedish story in which the mother is told to hurt the changeling child to force it to return her child. Or abandon it in the woods so that the fairies know their trick hasn't worked so they'll bring back the human child. In Poland, they call them mamuna, the spirits who take children. If a child were taken, the mother had to take the changeling to a hill, whip it with a branch, and shout, "Take yours, give mine back." The spirits would feel sorry for their child and take it back. It's mostly children being taken in these stories, but adults are taken as well. These stories have me wondering. I watch Myra and I wonder, is this really Myra, or is she something else? What if whoever took her replaced her? That would explain her age, right? Then I feel sick that I would even think this. My daughter is right there in front of me. It's what I wanted. I've been waiting so long for this. Now she's here and I'm doubting her. Is me thinking this just me pushing her away again? Am I scared to get close because I'm still afraid of losing her? So scared I'd believe my daughter is something strange instead of just embracing my daughter as she is? Her age, whoever took her obviously had highly advanced technology. Maybe they paused her aging. Maybe time moves differently wherever she was. I'm not a scientist. I don't know the first thing about the possibilities the universe holds. Mira's here, and I'm failing her again. I promised myself I'd do everything I could to protect her if I ever got her back. She's back now. I have to protect her. Love her. Not doubt her, she just needs time. I have to remind myself that she's been through a lot. That would change her. She's still my daughter, she's Myra. Mira still doesn't talk much, no more than 4 or 5 words at once. But today I heard her singing in her room. I walk quietly to her door, not wanting her to hear me. I get closer, trying to listen. I can't understand any of the words she's saying. She stops abruptly. She sees I'm there. She just stares at me with unblinking eyes. What were you singing? I ask her. Mira doesn't answer, she keeps staring. You didn't need to stop, honey, it sounded lovely, I tell her. I'm hungry, she says. I make her a sandwich, she wants another. I'm scared, terrified, Myra's not okay. I had to go get groceries, we were completely out of food. I decided that leaving Myra alone, just for a bit, would be better than hiding her in the car trunk or something. I knew I couldn't do that. I pondered trying to disguise her. But people would wonder why I had a child with me, so I had to leave her alone. I wouldn't be long. 8-minute drive to the store, shouldn't be busy at noon midweek. I'd grab some food and be out of there in under 10 minutes if I hurried. It would be fine. I put on a movie for Myra, Hook. She loves watching movies. Her eyes stay glued to the TV anytime I put anything on for her. She'll be fine, I think. I go to the store. I make better time than I hoped. I go home. Hook is still playing. But Myra's not there. I race into every room, call her name, she's not there, I race outside. I'm about to shout her name, not caring now if anyone hears me as long as I find my daughter, but then I spot her. She's outside Rhiannon's house. She's peering into the window. I race over to her and grab her hand. What are you doing? I ask in a whisper. Rye works from home, I don't want her to hear us. Watching, Myra says. I drag Myra back into our house. I told you to stay inside. I'm having a hard time controlling my voice. I slam the door shut. No one can see you, I try to calm down. I told you it's dangerous out there. I want to go outside, she says. You can't, I tell her. I want to watch, she says. I'm sorry, you need to stay inside. You can watch the TV, okay? I say as gently as I can. No, Myra says. She goes to the TV and pulls it down. It smashes on the floor. Myra, I definitely don't control my voice here. I grab onto her shoulders. What did you do that for? She stares at me with unblinking eyes, then loudly says, I want to watch outside. Honey, you can't, I tell her. I stroke her cheek, trying to settle her. She grabs my hand with hers. I feel hot white heat. Then the pain hits. I scream, pulling my hand away. She's burned my hand. Her hand has burned it. I don't know how it's possible. Then she just walks over to the grocery bags, pulls stuff out, and starts making herself a sandwich, like nothing happened. I look at the angry red welt on my hand, feel the blistering pain, searing proof that Myra isn't okay. Either they did something to Myra to make her like this, or this is Myra. Either way, I need to know. How did you do that? I ask Myra. How did you burn me with your hand? Mira looks at me confused. She doesn't answer, just goes back to spreading butter on bread. I take the knife from her hand. No food until you talk to me. I need you to talk to me, Myra. What happened to you? When you were taken, where were you? What did they do to you? Tears stream down my face. Questions tumble from me, I can't stop them. Who took you? What happened? I need to know, Myra. Anything you can remember, please just tell me. What do you remember? I don't know, that's all she says. You must know something though, anything, I plead. I don't know, Myra says again, exactly like before. Myra, you've been gone 10 years. Do you understand that? 10 years, you're not supposed to be little. You're supposed to be 16. Are you really you? Are you Myra? Are you my daughter? Then Myra shouts, more loudly than I've ever heard her shout before. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Things fly off shelves around her, crashing. She stops yelling, things stop falling. I'm speechless. Myra reaches out her hand, knife. I keep it clutched in my hand. I'm terrified this is Myra. Equally terrified it's not. She just stares at me. Then knock knock. Someone at the door. I tell Myra to hide. She doesn't. She just takes out another knife from the drawer, resuming sandwich making. More knocks at the door. Just stay here, please, I say. I go to the door, careful to only open it a crack. It's Rhiannon. She tells me she heard a child scream. I promise her there's no child here, just me. I say I was watching a movie. I don't let her catch sight of the smashed TV. I get her to leave. As I come back into the kitchen, I see Myra peeking around the curtain, watching her aunt leave. I rush to close the curtain, not sure if I saw Myra. I have to tell Dominic. I called Dom. He's on his way to the island. I haven't told him everything yet. I'll wait until he sees her for himself. Rhiannon must have seen Myra. There was a knock at the door. The police. Evans and the new one, I can't remember his name. They told me someone had seen a little girl in the house. A girl that looked like my daughter. Through their questioning, it was clear they were worried about my mental state. Worried that I had taken a child that wasn't mine. I told them there was no child. They asked to search the house. I wouldn't let them in, but then Myra comes out. She's staring at them, unblinking. Evans asks her what her name is. Myra, she replies. Then the younger one points to me and asks, "Do you know who this woman is?" Myra says, "My mother." Evans tells me that we should both come to the police station while they figure out what is going on. I feel her grasp my arm. I see the young cop reach for Myra. I pull out of Evans' grasp. "Don't touch her," I yell. But the cop holds on to Myra, telling her they're going to go on a little car ride. He gives her a smile, but she doesn't smile back. Evans has regained her hold on me. I pull against her, trying to get free, but she's strong. "Let us go," I yell. "You can't take her." "This doesn't need to be a fight, Blythe," she tells me. "We're trying to help you." Then I hear a scream. I look to Myra. But it's not her screaming, it's the young cop. His hands are burning. He drops to his knees in pain. Myra's eyes flash silver as she stares at him. Evans and I are frozen in shock. Myra whispers something quietly. The cop falls to the floor, coughing up blood. Blood pours from his eyes and ears. He stops moving. Dead. Then Myra goes for Evans. I tell her to stop, but she grabs onto Evans and same thing happens with her, but worse. There's blood everywhere. With Evans dead, Myra stares at me with unblinking eyes. "I don't want to hurt you, Mommy," she says. I can hardly breathe, but I manage to ask, "Where's Myra?" "I am Myra," she says. "Myra," I hear someone say. "It's Dominic. He's here, taking in the scene with horror." "No, this isn't our daughter." I get in front of him so she can't hurt him. "You're not Myra," I yell. "Tell me where my daughter is. Please bring her home." "You don't want me?" she says. "Fine, I'll go." She runs off into the forest. "We have to follow her," I tell Dominic. "She has to know where Myra is." Dom follows me. It's super dark, but I can just make out the girl's form darting through trees. I keep my eyes on her as I run. We see the girl reach a hill, a mound in the forest. She reaches to the ground and pulls a door opens. The girl slides, disappears into the mound. We follow, sweeping our hands through dead leaves and damp dirt, trying to find the door. Tears pour down my face as I frantically try and find it but can't. I tell Dom I'm sorry I didn't tell him what was going on. I should have. He tells me he's sorry he left me alone. Then I find it. Under a patch of moss is the handle to the door. I grab it and pull. The ground opens to a tunnel. We descend into what seems like strange bunker-type thing. It's made of metal, but there are also vines all over. Not like it's overgrown or a ruin, it feels like everything's perfectly integrated. The metal and the plants work together. We press on through the tight corridor. Then we come to an open chamber. There's someone there, a young woman on some sort of bed. She's sleeping like Sleeping Beauty, but she's attached to wires and tubes and things. I hear Dominic say, "Myra?" I step closer. She looks like Myra, but grown, a teen now. I'd always wondered what Myra would look like when she was older, the image shifting year to year, but once I saw her, I knew. "It's Myra," I say. I start to cry. "Myra," I say, trying to get her to wake up. Dominic tells me to be quiet. I hear a strange whispering. Is the girl back? Dominic and I scan the room, looking for her. We hear other voices join in the whispering. I can't make out what they're saying. It sounds like some sort of strange language. "Please let me take my daughter," I say. "I just want to take her home. Please just let me take her home." More whispering sounds. Dominic pulls the tubes from Myra. She wakes up. She looks confused. "Mom, Dad," she says. She reaches out to me, grasping my hair, taking in the gray streaks. I tell her we have to get out of here. I take her hand, help her off the bed. She's unsteady on her feet. Dominic and I help her walk. We move as quickly as we can back to the corridor, back towards the door, but then the walls begin to shake. The whispers get louder, the corridor falls into darkness. But the door is just ahead. We press forward. I push Myra out the door, she's free. But Dominic yells out. I turn to see that roots have wrapped around him, pulling him back. He struggles against them, trying to escape. I try to help him, but a root wraps around my leg. "Mom, Dad," Myra yells. "She's coming back for us." "No, don't." I yell. I manage to pull the root from my leg as I feel her hand grasp mine. "Get her out of here," Dominic shouts, fighting against the roots. He frees himself, coming to join us, but tendrils snack after us all. We whack them away as I push Myra towards the exit. She's first out the door, then me, then Dominic is following us when a thick root circles his chest and yanks him back into the darkness. The door slams shut. Myra and I are left in the silence of the woods. I try to find the handle again, but as my hand makes contact with it, I'm shocked with a jolt of pain. The ground shakes a humming sound, then white light overtakes. I awake to find Myra pulling me through the woods. She sees I've gained consciousness. Relief floods over her. "Mom, are you okay?" she asks. I nod and pull myself to my feet. "I thought you were going to die," she tells me. "I was trying to get help." I wrap her in a hug, then something catches my eye. A streak of lights in the sky. "They're gone, aren't they?" I say. Mira nods. "And Dad?" I ask. "I'm here." I turn. It's Dominic. He's there, walking out of the woods. He got out. He's okay. We all hug each other tightly. I'm crying, Myra's crying, but Dominic, he just seems serenely happy. He smiles at us brightly. I ask him how he got out, how he escaped. He looks at me with unblinking eyes and he shrugs. He just says, "Let's go home."
Thank you for watching. As always, make sure to like and subscribe for more Reddit stories. Until next time.